been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the UP fair, man. I've breathed that freezing air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been
Hi, this is Jim Islip with MSU Extension, and this is What's Up at UPREC on July 17th, 2020. Today we'll take a look at the composting operation here at the Upper Peninsula Research and Extension Center in Chatham, Michigan.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Paul Naasz, farm manager here at UPREC, and today we're standing out in our composting area. We've been composting manure now for probably 5-6 years. We have livestock here, and we've been doing a feedlot project, and so we have cattle in the barn behind me, and we bed those with straw. And during the winter, we clean the barn periodically, and we stockpile that manure on the concrete pad behind us here. And then in the spring, we come out and we build our compost piles. So we actually come out with a manure spreader, and we load the manure into the spreader and back the spreader up and then unload very slowly to build a windrow. We like to use the manure spreader because we use straw for bedding, and it is kind of clumpy, and the manure spreader helps bust it up some before as it's going into the pile. So we make these piles. We want them to be about 4 feet high and about 8 feet wide. So we come out and transfer the manure over to these windrows, and then we monitor the temperature on those windrows. And every day we come out and we have our temperature probe, and this is actually a probe that's about 2 feet long, and we just stick it into the pile and look at the temperature. Sometimes we have to move around a little bit to find a hot spot, but what we're looking for is we're looking for 130 degrees or above. And after you do this long enough, you can tell that this will never hit 130 degrees. It's just climbing too slowly. So right now it's at about 104, and you're not only, the whole pile isn't going to be 130 degrees, but we'll look for the hot spots, and sometimes we just draw it back out a few inches, and it's still climbing. Now we're at 110. I pull it out a little bit more. It kind of stabilized and stopped. The other thing, we can push it in and see what the center of the pile is. And there I pushed it in, and it's starting to go down. So right here at this spot, we've only got about 115 degrees. A lot of this compost has been utilized at the North Farm for vegetable production. And since they're organic certified, our compost needs to meet those guidelines. And for compost to be used on a certified organic farm during the growing season, it has to maintain a temperature above 130 degrees and be turned 5 times in 15 days. So we come out and we monitor the temperature daily, and when it hits above 130 degrees, we start to turn the pile. We'll turn the pile, take temps again, 3 days later, turn the pile, take temps again, so forth until we get at least 5 turns in 15 days. And I think the purpose of that is that doesn't mean it's not composting if it's less than 130 degrees, but my opinion is the 130 degrees is required to kill all the pathogens, the E. coli, the bacterias, because we don't want to be spreading manure that contains, for example, an E. coli, and put that on a growing tomato plant and then run the risk of having E. coli in the fruit. So that's part of the process to get certified, to get the compost certified for organic field production. Now, in the event that we don't get it certified, it can still be applied in the fall. It just can't be applied during the growing season. So we're standing out behind our livestock facility. You can see we've got a center feed alley going down the center, and then a bedded pack on each side. So when we get ready to clean the barn, we can just push it out, and we got this big containment area here. It's all concrete, and it's got a 2-foot concrete wall so that we can contain any runoff in this area, so that we don't get runoff going into the grassways and into the streams. But we will be cleaning the barn next week, and so we'll have manure on here again. So these are our feedlot cattle, And this is the barn. This is part of the SARE project, and we have them in here. This used to be our heifer barn when we had the milk cows, and right now we just do a bedded pack on these animals. And like I said, we use straw. Basically, we bed down once a week. We like to keep the cattle clean and free of any manure tags as possible. So we usually bed them with straw pretty heavy once a week, and then periodically we'll clean the barn and push it out to the back onto the pad. A bedded pack works really well, keeps them up off the concrete, keeps them dry, and as you can tell, they're doing quite well.
Well, that's what's up at Uprick on July 17, 2020. Hope to see you again next time.
Green Garden, Foster City, Massac, Copper City, Blaney Park, Bruce Crossing, Silver City, what a pity. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the UP.